All right. Welcome back to another episode of The Making of Second Chance Heroes by Rocket City Studios. I am lead level designer Eli Platt, and today we're going to take a look at Last Stop Hall of the Hobo King, Part 1. This is the next to last level in the Hobo Kingdom. It is the King's Palace. It's been overrun by zombies, and we're going to go in and secure some treasure and head on to the last level. I'm going to jump right into the walkthrough of this one. Well, actually, I'm going to give you a neat little camera perspective. So there's the castle there. Without the lighting, it's kind of hard to tell. It's got several layers of walls. It's more fortress-like than the Trash Caliber level. We'll do the bird's eye walkthrough. So here's the safe room. You come out across this bridge. Spike traps abound. You're fighting your way up to this lever. We've got to the front door. You got to solve a brief puzzle where you knock down a wall to reveal a lever before you can head into the middle. Now you've got to go through the hall, the first hall. There's a bunch of spike traps here as well, and zombies and whatnot, and once you avoid all of them, you can head up into the first main chamber, and here you split off into two rooms. You've got the barracks, a room full of hobo housing, as well as casks and alcohol and whatnot, and then over on the other side, you've got a armory full of wooden hobo weapons and where you fight a blood top and a tripper. On this side, you fight the burglar. So after defeating those two bosses, you walk your way up to the next level, where you've got the Hobo King's throne, and there you can see Hobo King, and it's a giant recliner with a toilet seat built into it on top of a massive pile of junk. And over here, you've got his private stash of alcohol, his and last but not least, the treasury, where you've got all kinds of mushrooms and things stored up there, and of course it's the end of the level. It's got a giant statuette of the Bindle in the stone, and that is your safe room for this level. You've also got the boss, Johnny Hollow Legs, or Johnny Hobo Legs. I always call him Johnny Hollow Legs, and it's Johnny Hobo Legs, I believe. And there he is with his speed limit belt, his stop sign shoulder pads, or chest plate I should say. And he is probably one of the funnest bosses in the game. I really like Johnny Hobo Legs. This is one of the few bosses in the game that is an intentional boss. He's sort of like the halfway point of the game. So you've got a boss in this level, and you've got a major boss for the chapter in the next level. So this is the only place you run in to Hobo Legs, and later on, of course, the boss of the next level, well, is exclusive, and you'll see him there. So not a lot to say about how this level was designed or when it was designed. At this point, I had the creative freedom to do whatever I wanted. We knew that it was going to be the last Hobo hurrah, and we knew we wanted to do a level for the Hobo King, and so it seemed fitting to sort of take all of the sewer and subway station parts and just put it together into an even more on-the-nose sort of castle fortress than was in the Trash Caliber level. And at this point, we've pretty much abandoned any real ties to the real world, and we've gone with this crazy archwork and this big, giant, majestic bridge, and what is quite obviously nothing other than a castle. There's no implication here that this is a sewer. It's got a moat. It's got a drawbridge. Well, not a drawbridge, but a bridge. It's got buttresses and cannons and towers, and it's got a gate that lets you into the front door, and zombie warrior statues that are made of stone. They're not improvised out of buckets and tires, and you've got pits of lava, and this is, I think, the first time you see the lava is in this level, so it's sort of saying, like, hey, by the way, there's lava. And so that's a little foreshadowy, and you've got an armory and the big axes and everything, so at this point, you've hit full fantasy. And that's pretty much it. And this is sort of the centerpiece of hobo society. And so you came in, you went through the caves, you went through the cliffs, you got into the Trash Caliber, sort of the forest outside of town, and after Trash Caliber you got into the hidden path where you're in sort of the the population mecca, at least on that side of town. And then you've gone through the sort of the industrial sector, and now you've gotten into the fortress. And you'll see in the next level our journey out and towards the final chapter. Alright, that about wraps things up here. I'll see you in the next level.